guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to film a video for you guys sharing with you some of the new products that have been launched over the past couple weeks and share with you my opinions on them, kind of give you like a first impression / review of each product that I have. I know that the holiday seasons are rolling around, so that means a lot of palettes, a lot of beauty products are going to be pushed for the holidays, and I know it's really important to know what's really worth the hype and what's worth it and what you should actually spend your money on versus what's just kind of mediocre and what you can leave alone and, you know, save money on. So I'm going to start off with some palettes that were recently launched. The first of which is from Makeup Geek, and I know if you watch my channel, I have been ranting and raving about this. This is the Kathleen Lights Highlighter Palette. This comes with 3 highlights. They range from like a lighter pink shade to a more golden shade to a more bronzy golden shade. This palette contains a lot of products. I don't know the exact ounces and all that stuff, like I can't really break that down for you, but I know that you're getting a lot of product and it's so pigmented. You literally need very little product to get really great pigmentation, and I feel like this palette is just so universal. It's so user friendly. It's just so nice to have. It's great for if you want to travel. I just cannot get enough of it. Like I said, I've been ranting and raving about it for quite some time now because I just think the quality of this product is spot on, and it's the type of pigmentation I look for in a highlight, so that's why I've been really going crazy about it. And I just love the fact that it's just so universal. It's something that so many different skin shades can use, whether you're light to medium to dark. This pinky shade here is for those who are a little bit more fair, and this golden could be for the darker, and the bronze maybe for like deeper skin tones. So I feel like they did a really great job with catering towards so many different people, and I will dip my finger in it just so you can kind of see how pigmented they are. So those are 3 shades right there, and you can see they're like ultra pigmented. They go on beautifully on the skin. Like, look at that pigmentation, that's unreal, and I love it. It looks so great on the skin. So I definitely give this Makeup Geek times Kathleen Lights palette a huge thumbs up. I think that it's great. I think it's totally worth it. And I do strongly suggest, if you're going to buy something, to definitely get this, especially if you're someone who's into highlights. So moving on from that, I'm going to talk about the Lorac Mega Pro 3 palette. Mine is extremely dirty. It comes in some really nice packaging. I wish it wasn't white because, as you can see, mine is very dirty, and it's very sleek. It's very user friendly. It's cardboard. It's pretty durable. It's got that magnetic clip at the end, and it contains a lot of different shades. Okay, so when you open up the palette, it's very similar to the other Lorac 1 and 2 Mega Pro palettes. This one is a little bit more warm. It's got 32 shades in it, as the other 2 do as well. And it's got a really nice combination of mattes and shimmers. There's 16 mattes and there's 16 shimmers. So I believe that that's a really great idea when creating a palette, and I think it's really important because I feel like you need both in order to create a good eye look, and I feel like when they have a good mixture of mattes and shimmers, that it makes you less likely to need to dip into other palettes, and it makes it more user friendly, and it makes it more travel friendly as well, because you won't have to be going around with a bunch of palettes. It's just kind of like a one-stop shop. So I love Lorac eyeshadows. I think they're amazing quality. If you watch my channel, you know that I rant and rave about them as well. Those are some of my favorite eyeshadow palettes of all time. This one I was really excited about because I thought that they did a really great job of incorporating really nice warm shades, and I felt like that catered to me, and it's something I tend to gravitate towards. And when I got it, I did like it. I was pretty happy with the color selection. I just wish that they would have put a warmer transition shade that's not too dark and it's not too light. Like, I wish they would have created a more medium transition shade. That's the only thing that's kind of missing for me. And I feel like this one is kind of like a mixture of the Lorac Mega Pro 1 and 2. I wish they would have put a little bit more deeper shades versus these really light shades here, because these are shades, these like really light pastel shades, I feel like I won't gravitate towards. So I wish they would have put a little more depth into the palette. I mean, I can't complain because they did give you a really great selection of shades in here. You have your black, you have your like plums, you have your grays, you have your transition shades, you have your plums, and then you have beautiful shimmers, and they're so pigmented. I love the pigmentation on these shadows. They're very great. They're very buttery, very easy to apply. They go on beautifully. The mattes are very pigmented, which is really important with matte eyeshadows. Sometimes they're not as pigmented. So I think they did a really great job of the formulation. I love the combination of colors. And I feel like this is great, especially if you're someone who does not want to spend a lot of money on a bunch of different eyeshadow palettes. This one's great because it is something that you can use forever and ever. It's got 32 shades and you won't have to buy a bunch of palettes. This is pretty much for, I want to say maybe someone who's a beginner who wants to get started into makeup. This is great. And someone who just loves makeup. This is great. And for those of you who are travelers, I think this is a great palette as well because, like I said before, it's a one-stop shop. So the only negative thing I could kind of say about it is that I just wish they had a better transition shade for my skin tone. It's not horrible, it's just a preference of mine. I feel like that's something I look for as soon as I look into a palette. And the eyeshadows are very powdery. So when you use this palette, I would definitely suggest that you apply your shadows first versus your foundation because you will get fallout and you don't want to mess up your foundation or whatever. So yeah, I like this palette. I give this one a thumbs up as well. I definitely think it's something that somebody should get, and I think it's great to have in your collection. It's not my favorite out of all the three. I think the second one is probably my favorite, but this one's really great as well, and it's really beautiful. Okay, so moving on from that palette, I'm gonna go to another palette. So this palette right here is the Too Faced The Power of Makeup by Nikki Tutorials palette. And I will be honest, when I did see that they were launching this, I really was not that excited. I don't know why. I love Nikki Tutorials. I love her channel. I think she's so incredibly talented. And I just love her. I think she's fabulous. But when I saw the palette, I was like kind of like, meh. Like it just didn't move me. I'm going to be honest. And I went a long time without even like looking at it, without even going to the store and walking past it. Like it just was not something that was on my radar that I felt like I need to have in my collection. But one day I was at Ulta and I was like, let me look at this palette. Let me see what it's all about because I was really curious. And when I opened it, I did think it was really cute. I love the concept of it. It comes with 9 eyeshadows, 2 blushes, a bronzer, and a highlight. It also came with a felt tip eyeliner from Too Faced, as well as a little pot of glitter, and then the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara that is in the color purple. So I thought that was really cool that they gave you a really nice selection of products. I felt like you're getting more of a bang for your buck because I do believe this is like $57 or something along those lines. But when I saw it, I was impressed. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, okay, I give it to her. This is cooler than I thought it was. I loved the color Makeup and Chill. That's what I gravitated towards. And I love the color Irresistible. It's just such a beautiful pigmented like gold. And then I love that she included like nice pops of color. You've got your purple and you've got your blue, your aqua blue. So I felt like this palette is very universal for pops of color for more like chill makeup looks, for more warm makeup looks. I felt like she did a good job of kind of like balancing out like, you know, a palette and making it fun but also user friendly. So this is actually the palette that I'm wearing on my eyes today. I use the color Irresistible all over my lids and Makeup and Chill and Painkiller in my crease. And then I use Sugar Coated in my inner tear ducts, and then the Wham Bam on my lower lash line as my pop of color, along with the purple mascara on my lower lash line as well. So I do feel like this is really cool. It's a really nice concept. It's also very travel friendly because I do think it's nice that it came with a bronzer as well as 2 blushes. I think that the combination of the 2 blushes mixed together is really pretty. This pink is just very pink for me, so I feel like I have to tone it down with this kind of like peachy shade. But I do think it's nice. The Champagne Truffle, I have not tried it as a highlight because it's just a little pink and it's a little frosty for me. So I know that this is in the Chocolate Bar palette, so I do like this for brow bone highlight and also for inner tear duct highlight. And the Chocolate Soleil bronzer, it does work for my skin tone, but it is a little bit ashy, so I do have to use it in combination with other bronzers to not make it look so harsh on my cheeks. But if you're a little bit more fair, I feel like these shades will cater towards you a little bit better. But I do love the palette. I think it's really great. I love Too Faced eyeshadows. The quality of the eyeshadows are phenomenal. They're A+. They're super creamy, super buttery, super easy to work with as well. And the pigmentation you can't beat. I'm a huge fan of Too Faced. I think they have some of the best eyeshadow formulations on the market right now. So I do think that she did a really good job when choosing who to collaborate with, because it is a quality product. So moving on from that, I'm going to share with you the Master Palette by Mario. This is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and when I saw this on Instagram, I was super pumped. I wanted it so bad because it just looks so interesting. And if you know my channel, you know I love Anastasia Beverly Hills. Like, she is it for me. Like, I love almost every single product she puts out. I think everything that she puts out is top-notch quality. The eyeshadows are super pigmented. I love her selection of eyeshadows. I love how just they're so good. Like, I just love her eyeshadows a ton. Like, I feel like when it comes to eyeshadows, I love Anastasia, I love Too Faced, and I love Lorac. I think those are my 3 ride or dies when it comes to eyeshadows. So naturally, when I saw that this collaboration was coming out, I was like, must have in my collection like tomorrow. So I ordered it and I got it in, and it comes with 12 eyeshadows. They have a combination of shimmers and mattes, 3 of which are mattes, the rest are shimmery shades. This palette is very warm. It's very fall appropriate. It's got a lot of warm shades, like more deeper warm shades. And when I saw it, I was like, this is really great because it's something that you can use every day. It's not something that's just going to sit in your collection because it's got these off-the-wall colors. It's something that you're going to get your use out of. It's something you're going to get your money's worth on it. So I was really happy about that, because sometimes you buy palettes and you don't really use them because they're so bright, like the Electric palette by Urban Decay. That's now on clearance, by the way. So yeah, side note. So yeah, so when I got this palette, I started playing with it. I've used it probably like 5 times. And I have to say that this is not my favorite Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. I don't mean that in a bad way. I think that the guy who created this is super talented. I think he's super great. But for me, it just did not move me like the way the other 2 eyeshadow palettes she came out with did. I was really in love with those palettes. I thought they were like the bomb.com. This one is really nice, don't get me wrong. But I feel like the shades are just, I don't know, like, they're nice. I love the 5th Ave and I love Marina. Those are really nice. This Isabel shade, it looked like something that could be a really great transition shade for my skin tone, so I was super happy about that. I was like, okay, great. He has like a like medium skin tone shade, and then he has like a more deeper shade. So I was like, if you're fair, you can use this one. If you're a little deeper, you can use that one. But for me, this orange shade was not like the burnt orange she has. It's really deep. So it didn't really work in my transition. It didn't really work as a transition shade for me. I had to dip into my collection and use something else to get the proper transition shade that I wanted personally. I think that the olive shade, which I was really looking forward to, I have an obsession with green as of lately, and I was really looking forward to that because I was like, a nice green, like perfect for this time of the year. But it's not super pigmented. It's like a very dull green. I hate to say that. And I feel like the colors are just kind of dull, like they're not very vivid, and I feel like they're just, I don't know, they're like great if you like these deeper shades, but for me personally, I just felt like it just needed a little bit more oomph to it, and I don't know, like I just feel like I'm in a creative rut when I use this palette for some reason. Like, I don't know why, it just puts me in a rut because I'm like, oh, I don't know what kind of look to put on my eyes, and when I do something I don't love it, so I just, I don't know, like this palette is nice, but it didn't move me the way I wanted it to, and it was just not my favorite that she's come out with, like I have to be honest. But I do think it's nice. I do feel like a lot of people will love it because the colors are very, very like day to day, very easy, especially for like the working girl. But I just felt like they're just too taupey dark. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but they're just too dark for me personally, and I don't know, I didn't love it the way I wanted to, but it is good quality, I must admit that, but it just wasn't my favorite for some reason. So yeah. Moving on from that, I'm going to share with you the Smashbox. This is the light Lights palette, the LA Lights palette. It's a contour, blush, and highlight palette. I saw this at Ulta, and when I saw it, I was like, like, girl, look at that palette. It looks amazing. So it comes with 9 cheek products. The 3 on this side are all highlights. These 5 are blushes, and then 1 bronzer. And when I saw it, I was like, yes, like, you're coming home with me tonight, like, you know. And I saw it and I thought that for the price point, it was $39. You cannot beat this for the price point. I feel like that's a steal. I feel like they gave this palette away. It's like, here, it's basically free to me, in my opinion, because they're good sized pans. They're medium sized pans, and I think the quality of them is impeccable for a cheek product, and I just can't get over it. The bronzer I was a little iffy about because it looks like it's gonna like melt in with my skin and just be my skin tone, but it wasn't. It works for me really well. I love it because it gives me a more natural bronze look and not just like a boom contour bronze look. So I love that for day to day. I think it's so good. I was very impressed. And the blushes are ultra pigmented. The highlight right here in gold is currently what I'm wearing on my cheeks. It's not like the most pigmented of pigmented eyeshadow of highlights, I must admit, but it does give you that highlight to the cheeks. It's just not like my Makeup Geek one, you know. So I think that the highlight is awesome. It's really nice. It's great for work and things like that when you don't want like overly pigmented highlight. The other highlights, this one is like highlight berry. It's more of a pinky tone. This is more of like a blush topper for me because I don't love pinky highlights. They don't really work well for me. So I do like to use that in combination with these 2 shades right here as a blush topper, and it just gives it a little bit of glow. And this highlight down here is a little bit more of a coral shade. It's nice too as well, but the gold one is definitely my favorite of all the eyeshadows. I think the pigmentation of all the blushes are really great. This can be used for so many different skin tones, but I feel like if you are a little bit more fair, you will have a little bit more problems with this because the blushes and the highlights are a little bit, I want to say, like very color pigmented, so they might be a little bit harsh on the skin. And I know I was talking to a lady at Ulta and she said that she cannot use the highlights at all, that she's way too fair for them. So I don't know if the fair girls will definitely get their money's worth out of this, but I feel like if you are like a little tan to medium to dark, like this will be your BFF. And it's a one-stop shop. Like, I just love it. I think it's great. And for the price point of $39, I really feel like you cannot go wrong with this product. So I definitely give this product a thumbs up. I think it's a must-have, and I think you should definitely try to get your hands on it if you're able to and if you have it. And this is only sold at Ulta if you're looking for it. Okay, so the next palette I'm going to share with you guys is from Tarte. This is the new Tarte Color Wheel. This came from Sephora, and I thought this was super cute. It's $49. It comes with 10 blush/highlights. I love Tarte's blushes. I don't love all of Tarte products. Like, I do not like their eyeshadows at all. I feel like they're like mediocre. I love the Tarteiste second palette. I think that one was good, but when I buy their palettes, I'm not really impressed, and I usually bring them back. But their blushes are on the money. So when I saw that they were launching this, I was super, super excited. I was like, yes, I want this. And it comes with like travel size blushes, 10 of them. Like I said before, they're not like the full product like you would buy them if you were buying them singles, but they do give you a pretty nice amount of product. And I feel like if you have this, there's no way you're gonna use through all 10 of them. Like, let's be real, you have so much variety that I feel like it's enough product. You don't need the full size. So it's got like a really beautiful highlight here, highlight here. It's got some really gorgeous blush selections. You have your mattes to your shimmers to your like more neutral tones to your more like brighter tones. I feel like this palette is just super balanced. It's so nice. I just cannot get over it. Like, I feel like the blush palettes are really nice, especially if you're someone who's a makeup artist. I feel like this is something you would like to have in your kit, or if you're someone who travels a lot, I think this is great. And if you're someone who just loves makeup, this is also just great. So I think that's definitely worth it. I think you should definitely get this. I think this was $45 to $46, somewhere in that price range. And I think that you can't beat it. I love it. I think it's great. I'm looking forward to using it more because I have not used every single shade in here, I will be honest. But every shade that I have used, I am really impressed with. I do think that the highlights in here are a little bit more fair. So I can't use the highlights as much as I'd like. I kind of have to mix them with other shades to get the nice highlight, but that's like the only downside of it. I feel like they could have made the highlights a little bit more universal. But you know, overall, all in all, I do love this product. I do think it's great. I do think you should go out and get it. And it's just such great packaging. It's something that you could definitely throw into your travel bag and not worry about breaking because it's in a hard case and it's got a snap shut. It's got a snap shut like seal. So you don't have to worry about like product flying out. So that I love. Okay, so moving on from that, I'm going to share with you 2 items I bought from MAC. This was the MAC Star Trek collection, and I got the 2, like, they're called Fantastic Powders, and I don't really know exactly the proper use for them. I tried to look them up on MAC, but it didn't really give me a clear description, but they kind of look like highlights to me. Okay, so when I saw them, they looked like highlights to me, just with really cool, like, colors running through them. And when I did swatch them, they did swatch really beautifully, and the girl was like, oh my god, those look so good on your skin. I'm like, I was actually very impressed. So the peachy one is nice. I feel like this would be great for kind of like a blush topper. It's not really so much a highlight as I thought it was gonna be. And this more bronzy shade is nice also. It feels really smooth. It's a different texture, different than any powder I've ever used from MAC. Because I don't really, like I said before, know if they're highlights, but that is them on my hands. They're a little bit difficult to see, but they're there. So when it comes down to it, I don't really know exactly how I feel about them because they're not like highlights per se. I don't know their exact use. Like this one I use as a blush topper or as like a blush, like it's a very like easy blush, like a glowy blush, I would say for me. And this one I like to use as a highlight, but it's not the most pigmented highlight. These products I don't think are must-have. I will be honest. They're nice feeling. They look nice on the skin, but they're not something that you need to run out and buy. Like I was not super impressed with them to the point where I felt like they're an essential. Like I need to have them in my collection. But they're a cool little concept. I mean, I really feel like MAC has been kind of like not so great lately. I feel like they have a lot of competition when it comes to makeup because there's so much variety. There's Anastasia, there's Too Faced, there's all these like indie brands. There's so much variety out there, and I feel like they're kind of like slacking, like, because every time I buy a MAC product lately, I'm not impressed. Like I've been returning a lot of MAC stuff every time I buy it. So I feel like MAC has some work to do, but I love MAC. Like I used to be like a ride or die MAC girl, but not as of lately, I must say. So the next product I'm going to share with you guys, sorry for all the rants, are these 2 highlights from Makeup Forever. If I could get it open. Finally. Okay, so I got these 2 highlights from Makeup Forever. I love Makeup Forever highlights. I have the ones that they launched with the bronzers in them. I love that gold. It is like the most pigmented. It looks so like bam in your face highlight, and I love that. Like if you know me, you know I'm like, I want to walk in and be like, damn girl, highlight on fleek. Like I want people to say that about me. I want to be that girl. So I loved Makeup Forever's highlight when they launched those like duos, and I was super impressed. So I saw that they were coming out with these 2 shades right here, and I was like, yes, I have to get them. I know they're gonna be bomb. So I bought them as soon as they launched on Sephora. So the first shade is more of like a iridescent pearly pink. This is going to be great for those lighter skin people who are a little bit more fair. I think this is going to complement you really well. The pigmentation on it is like boom in your face. Looks amazing on me. I don't think I'll use it as a highlight per se. I just wanted it just because I'm extra. But it is really pretty, and if you are fair, like I feel like it will complement your cheeks so well. It looks so beautiful. And then the one that I was really looking forward to was this one right here. This is in the color 02. This one's 01. And this is like the most beautiful gold. And I was like, yes, yes. And look at that pigmentation. I love this highlight. It is so beautiful on the skin. It looks so good. So I got these two and I was super pumped. I love them. They're 01, 02. 01 is for the more fair, whereas 02 is for the more deeper skin tones, the more golden shade. I love these. I think they're great. I've never really had a problem with the Makeup Forever products, so I was super impressed with these, and I definitely think there's something that they're worth looking at least if you are into highlights, and I recommend them. They're really, really nice on the skin. Okay, so the last product I'm going to share with you guys is from Hourglass, and this is the Hourglass. It is the stick concealer. I don't really know the name for it. It doesn't say it here. But I'm in the color Golden Amber, and it comes with 0.25 ounces of product, which really is not a lot to me. So I'm like twisting it all the way up so you can see how much product comes in it. Ah! Okay, so that just happened. Okay, so when you wind it up, it really doesn't look like that much product, but I will say that when I use it, I do not need to use a ton because I just put like 1 or 2 stripes on my forehead, 2 on my cheeks, 1 on here, and a little bit on my nose, and it covers my face really well. This product is very nice, I will admit it. I was a little bit hesitant. I didn't know if it was all the rage because I saw it all over YouTube, and I know a lot of people got sent this as a PR product, so I was a little hesitant about it because sometimes I feel like people kind of like hype up PR products because they want more PR products. Like, I don't know if that's just me or just me, but I was a little intrigued by it, so I did get it along with the Makeup Forever stick foundation, and I like them both a lot. They're so nice and creamy. This one, I will say, is a little bit more matte, so if you have more oily skin, I feel like this will be your best friend because the coverage on it is like, I'm wearing it today, it's unreal. It covers almost everything on the skin. I didn't even have to color correct or anything. I just went in with the product and I just buffed it out with a blending brush, and it worked really well for me. It's very easy to use, it's not chalky, it's very buttery, very smooth, and I love it. It's a pretty decent price point. I believe it's like $45 to $50, so it's not too bad. It's like on par with, you know, Hourglass products, and I feel like it's really nice. I feel like they have a really great selection of colors, whereas Makeup Forever doesn't, so I think that's great. And I just love the coverage on the face. Like, I think it looks really, really nice, so I am impressed with it. I would definitely suggest trying it out. So it is a product that I am currently enjoying. I think it's nice. It's not just the rage, it's the bomb.com, pretty much. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it made your holiday shopping a little bit easier for yourself, and I hope you guys liked the video and it just was something that was beneficial to you guys. And yeah, so I hope you guys have a good day. I will see you guys soon. Do not forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you like what you see, and I will see you guys soon. Bye guys.